Hello, and welcome to Chatting, a podcast where people chat about how they learn and use English. My name is Sam, I'm a CELTA teacher and a performer, and I have a particular interest in pronunciation and expression. In each episode, non-native and native speakers will chat about their experiences with English, share their advice, and, at the end, I'll give some pronunciation tips for you to take away and practice. So, ready? Let's get chatting. This episode, I'm chatting with Risto and Carolina, my first chat with a couple. Risto is originally from Finland, while Carolina is Italian and is originally from Brazil. Like many international couples, English is the language in which they communicate, so I was interested in finding out more about this, as there are so many couples in the same situation. We chatted about the influence of US and UK sitcoms, with a great reference to the UK sitcom The IT Crowd, hosting their own podcast, and misunderstandings in English. But I started by asking Risto and Carolina to tell me a little bit about themselves.
So my name is Risto. I'm a Finnish native, and I have been working in Dublin for 1.5 years, and now I'm back here.
No, you worked.
I worked,
Yeah.
and now I'm back here. And as you can maybe notice, I'm not a native English speaker, but I have, of course, worked in the UK, and also I talk every day in English with my wife and with my work.
Well, and I am the wife, Carolina, the one that was mentioned before, and I don't speak Finnish. Not much Finnish, that would be enough. So English is our language of communication. And I am not a native speaker as well. I am Italian and I was born in Brazil.
Okay.
And Portuguese is my mother tongue. And I speak other languages as well, Italian and Spanish, trying Finnish and Swedish. So there's a lot of languages.
Eu não falo português. I don't speak Portuguese.
So we have to make do with English because it's the language that we both have in common for our communication. But sometimes things like this happen, that we mix other languages. It's kind of like, like a melting pot in my own apartment.
Okay.
Oh, and my name is Carolina. I just joked that about being the wife, but I have a personality.
Okay, so I'm really interested in this journey you are on together, speaking English. Have you ever compared how you started English? Like, have you ever discussed how you learnt English at school? Did either one of you have more of a US influenced English than a UK influenced English, or have you had similar journeys?
I would say that I am the US person because I actually lived in the US for a year.
Okay.
I was studying English in New York, and I have always been kind of, influenced by American music most of the time and programs. And Risto is have always been more like the UK
Yes.
kind of person.
I find the dry humor in those sitcoms, it suits me a lot, because it's like even if there's no laugh track or something, it's like those you have to watch between your fingers. Like I cannot watch, it's too frustrating or too embarrassing. But
And some of your favorite comedians are actually British.
True.
So Carolina, are you more influenced now by Risto's love of UK sitcoms, or Risto, do you start now watching more US sitcoms?
I think it's like it goes both ways, because I started watching, I liked some British comedies before. I have always been a huge fan of the IT Crowd.
Uh-huh.
And we always make jokes because this is Risto's area of work.
Have you
so
tried turning it off and on?
It's every day.
Yeah.
It comes every day.
Yeah.
And I also Risto started watching more of the American comedies with
True.
me as well.
Carol knows so much about the US popular culture and even the alternative culture that sometimes even like the most common reference or like a joke to something, not even so like old movies, old TV series, something, it goes way over my head. But Carol knows because she has this encyclopedia on her
Oh,
head.
come on. And you said, because we had a few years ago, I had a friend from New York visiting here, and you said I was different when she was
Yeah,
here.
in my opinion, your accent or your way of speaking English turns more to the like mirroring the person who you are talking with.
Oh,
Like
that's interesting.
let's say
Yeah.
Sam is from Australia, you would be talking Australian. I don't know how you do it, but in my mind, it started to sound like.
Yeah.
Do you think then, Risto, that Carolina has more of a Finnish English way of speaking now, if that's sort of your base?
Yeah, I think you got a lot of influence from me because in Finnish we have like if there's like a 15 minutes the quarter. So in my language I get the R's, I get the quarter. It's like very quarter. So sometimes Carol gets that, for example.
But I don't think that you have that. What do you think, Sam? I don't think he has that heavy Finnish accent.
No,
It's
I
not
don't.
big, very much indeed. It doesn't sound so much, in my opinion, at least.
Yeah, I don't think so.
No. Have you lived anywhere else apart from Finland together? Any other English-speaking country?
Yeah, and we lived together in Dublin for a while.
Very nice.
And then we were both like sometimes like, are they speaking English really? Because we were
Yeah,
so unprepared for the thick Dubliner accents that sometimes it was like, okay, did I really get what they said or what?
yeah, and I liked when we get like because I worked at Facebook at a time, so there was a lot of, let's say there was like a Portuguese team and they had their own accent, and then there was a Finnish team and they had their own accent, and everybody had their own accent. But when we get like I don't know a plumber visiting, they were really thick accent from the local area. So I was like, excuse me, what? No, your plumbing is fine. Okay, got it.
But people had always, this is something that you cannot complain about Ireland, because people were always very willing to repeat or to tone down a bit, so if that everybody could understand.
Hmm.
I think Irish
Yeah.
people seemed very open and very
Yeah.
social. I have never talked to you in my life, and then we are there, in the bakery queuing up, and then
Yeah.
start talking about, so what's up with you?
So apart from the R's and the R's, is there anything else when you're speaking English that you personally think, I wish this was better, or I find this tricky?
Well, in my opinion, it feels like sometimes I'm okay. What is the word? The thing that it's like it's not a complicated word as such, but I don't want to say I like cars. I would like to say I'm a fond of automobiles, like more like eloquently. Like I don't want to say so like basic words. I think that's more like about my vocabulary or something like that. How many?
I just think that after studying Finnish and living in Finland, I have zero complaints about English at all. I'm just thankful that it exists, and I love it,
Yeah.
and I cherish it every single day of my life.
But without getting too personal, have you found that your English at home has developed into a Carolina and Risto type of English, or are you quite strict with how you speak the language?
We are not native speakers, so I think that when we are very tired or very busy, it starts showing through the language abilities that they start decreasing. And then it comes like the Finnish and the Portuguese and the Italian starts coming through.
Yes.
And then you have, mixed things that you wouldn't understand, but then Risto and I understand and how it works,
Yeah, sometimes it's like when you're really tired, for example, or or I don't know, when you get really emotional about something, your native tongue kind of pops out. Like sometimes Carol, for example, is, I don't know, very busy. Give me the bottle of, I don't know, water. And then you just say it in Portuguese, like, oops.
But sometimes, depending on what it is, we know what it is.
It's like, of course, the gestures pointing and, showing what you mean, but like sometimes we have the words that like are synonyms, or
Yeah.
how do you say?
Between you, have you ever had any misunderstandings in English? We haven't understood the
daily.
other person daily.
Yeah, quite a bit.
No, I'm joking, but
Yeah.
quite frequently.
Like, what do you mean you want to do something next week? Next week is now, but in Portuguese, I think you're when you say next week, doesn't it start from the Sunday, or what is it?
Yeah, there's always this debate here.
Yeah.
Where does the week start? Because if it's already Friday. For me, if I say next week, it's Monday onwards, because the weekend will count. But in Risto's
Yeah, in
head,
my life, yeah.
no, the weekend still counts. It's
Yeah.
still like, no.
We're gonna meet Sam in next week. No, it's like, I don't know, this weekend. Yeah, but next week. No, it's still this week.
Yeah.
Okay, what day? Give me the numbers. So let's
It's
just
always
check.
like, for me, the week starts on Monday, and that's that.
Yeah.
But Risto finds it that no, for me, starts on Sunday. So
Yeah, and I think sometimes it's like turn left. No, not my left, the other left. Like,
Yeah.
it's still the same. It's left, but it's like, how do you look at it?
yeah, and sometimes when I say take the left, you look at me like I'm speaking like gibberish, and I say, no, you turn.
Turn left.
What do you mean when I say take? I said, you turn, take left, you turn.
I mean, I don't know if it's like that we don't understand what we are saying, but it's just how, for example, in Portuguese or maybe in your country, or I don't know where it comes from, but like more cultural thing.
Tell me a little bit about your podcast. You guys have a podcast together. What type of things do you discuss?
It's almost like, grabbing a cup of coffee and just talk about stuff. We don't have like a theme or, something that is like goes through all the episodes. It's more like, let's talk about something.
Yeah.
And we because we did that before the podcast, we would just sit down and talk about something that we both read on the news or saw on TV, and then it would come through as well.
Because we don't like, I saw the like true crime, for example, is very popular, and there's always a theme. For example, it's like one episode is one case or whatever. Like if it's a sports thing, there is like now there's the football going on, so obviously you will talk about the football that is going on. Yeah, it's more like this. I don't know, is it a global issue or more like a universal issue? Anyways, that. Okay, I don't like thing X. What do you think about thing X? And you have opinions about things X, and then it will come out as like a, how would you say, conversation for a podcast.
Exactly. And we talked about everything and anything at the same time. So anything could happen. It's just like a couple of people talking over a cup of coffee.
The only thing we have had a little bit of censorship is because sometimes the topics that we have in mind are a little bit like black and white, as many things are nowadays. So we don't want to go to, I don't know, I don't like thing X, and there's half of the planet that thinks the other way around. So it's like, maybe we want to keep it more light. We don't want to talk about things that people have very passionate opinions about. Or
too sensitive in a way.
Yeah.
Risto and I think we have this dynamic that we just like start a conversation about whatever.
Yeah.
And it goes through. But I guess that's not the case with anyone, really.
Final question then. As you have both worked and lived speaking English for a long time, what advice would you give people who are trying to improve their English?
Not to be ashamed of their skill. Like, just, it's okay. It's like, even if I was horrible at English, I could say, give me drink. Like, you would understand that the guy needs a drink. It's not, it's like, Maybe it's also that you are not comfortable talking in public, or you're not comfortable talking in general. But if you're gonna, if you wanna try and learn your English and get more familiar with the talking part, you kind of have to talk.
Just like for whoever needs to practice English, just do it. You don't have to be perfect. If people can, just like if people can understand you, you're making your point, and people, okay, this is it, it's fine. You will refine it with time.
Yeah.
But it will never get better if you don't try it,
And I would like to add that even if you are, let's say, an American English speaker by where you're from, sometimes your English isn't like as good as the people who are, let's say, immigrating to. So it's like, just go there and do your thing, and don't be like so tense about the skill level.
I think that's fantastic. Yeah, I totally agree. Thank you so much. Don't be ashamed of your English. And, in the words of a very famous sports company, just do it. Great advice from Risto and Carolina. Their podcast is called Stick With Us, and there is a link to it on the Chatting podcast page. There was an interesting point raised in our chat about understanding this or next week. When does the week start for you? To make it easier, think about it this way. This is for the closer of the 2 points, and next is for the further of the 2 points. So, if it's Monday and I say next Wednesday, I understand this to be in 9 days' time. If I say this Wednesday, I understand this to be in 2 days' time. So, this episode's pronunciation tip is about sounding the letter R in English. Now, the R is called a rolled R sound, and as Risto said, in Finnish, and indeed many, many languages, there is a rolled R sound for the letter R at the beginning or in the middle of words. So, for example, you might say, I read terrible romance novels. Really, the thing to remember is this. In English, we don't tend to roll our R's. Instead, we place the top teeth very lightly on the bottom lip, and the sound is forward but in the throat. So try for yourself. R, r. To help you reduce the rolled R, I have 3 sentences with useful R words for you to practice. First, the modifier really and the colour red. Try this sentence. That car is really red. Next, the verbs to rain and to return and the word tomorrow. Try this sentence. I think the rain will return tomorrow. Finally, road, what you drive on, regular, like frequent, and route, the direction from one place to another. Try this sentence. Your road is on my regular route. Bonus sentence. Try this mix of R's at the beginning and in the middle of words for extra practice. I'd rather read terrible romances than rubbish crime stories. It's not terrible if you speak English with a rolled R. Just think about resting your tongue. It's not needed. Over to you to practice. So there we are. The transcript of this episode is available to read on the podcast's webpage, so take a look. Join me next time for more pronunciation and grammar tips, more advice, and most importantly, more chatting. My thanks again to Risto and Carolina, and for her music, a massive thanks to the wonderful Mara Carlisle. Bye for now.